Am I the a-hole? So this is the video that I held off showing last night because I wanted Theus to be on here because I guarantee you his take on this is going to be fantastic. I already had my take on it, and it's the first time I was listening to it, I was, you brother, I done burned out on that now. The year is almost over. I can't bring myself to, manufacture a F anymore. I'd rather just be done with you and move on about my business. The title of it is Girlfriend Will Not Tip.
Please keep in mind that this is a story from the United States where tipping culture is still prevalent. Okay, so this is going to sound petty. I promise you it isn't to me. We've been dating for almost 2 years, and in almost every way, she is the one for me. I want to get married to her. However, I realize this sounds so petty, but for some reason this bothers me so much more than it should. She has the absolute worst restaurant etiquette. 1, she barely tips. We both have good jobs. Money is not a problem for her or I. We kind of take turns paying when eating out. I normally tip 20%, maybe a little more or less, depending on the situation. Over the weekend, she tipped $3 on a $46 bill. Sometimes I've tried to leave cash on the table, but she gets upset, takes it, hands it back to me. We've only had a few fights, and almost every one of them have started like this. She is absolutely convinced that throwing a few dollars is more than enough. She gets all of this from her family. Her parents took us out last Christmas to a very expensive steakhouse. Her dad made an absolute scene and production of tipping $20 on a $500 plus bill because it's the holidays. Okay, so he tipped $20 on a $500 bill and said he was doing it because it was the holidays. 2, she sends almost every dish back. Something is always wrong with whatever she ordered. The hamburger is not done enough or done too much. There's dirt in the lettuce in her salad. The pasta isn't cooked enough. You get the idea. Every time. 3, she expects the waitstaff to be paying attention to her needs instantaneously and doesn't tip to compensate for that extra attention. She's not necessarily verbally abusive towards them, but she keeps making demands. Water or iced tea needs to be constantly refilled. We need more napkins. This fork is dirty, etc. If she's expecting or asking for something and that person isn't right there, she'll start asking me loudly where they are to get some attention. 4, she argues over the bill every time, demanding to speak with the manager to have something taken off or reduced because she wasn't satisfied. It doesn't matter if it's Applebee's or the Capitol Grill, never pay the full amount. I am 100% sure that this all comes from how her parents act at restaurants. I've seen them do this every time that we've eaten out together. It isn't a money thing either, they're not struggling. It is to the point that I don't like going out to eat because what I know is about to happen. She is completely aware of how tipping is supposed to work, but insists that it is optional and to stop throwing money away. There's no other situations where she has this antisocial behavior except at a restaurant. I cannot get my mind around it. Everywhere else she is kind, reasonable, sweet, but as soon as she's in a restaurant, she turns into this. How the hell do I convince her that this type of behavior needs to change and is really bothersome and antisocial? I've tried explaining time and time again, and it goes in one ear and out the other.
I don't even know what that look is, Anna.
No, I'd say.
I'm talking about Anna has this look on her face like I don't know what that is.
That's my WTF.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. This is one of those times where people are stuck on the principle. She doesn't feel that tipping is right, and that now here I'm going to project onto her where she feels that if you're going to be in business, you should pay your people to do their job, and then it's completely up to me if I'm going to tip beyond that. I've heard that before, but that's only justifiable if the rest of your behavior isn't abhorrent. So people like to state the principle and then hide behind said principle to do really dark and just mean things. I'm not going to take all that off because personally, I feel a person who's like her is just beneath my attention. And I know people, but you shouldn't look at it. Well, fuck that. But to him, you can't you can't raise a grown person. And so if this is who she is, I mean, did he say this is his wife? I think he said it's his wife. I don't remember.
Girlfriend or wife? I'm not sure. I
Okay,
think wife. I think
It was
so
a girlfriend.
okay,
girlfriend. Sorry.
so it's this isn't that hard. It'd be harder if it was your wife, but still be the exact same thing to me. Look, the way you are when we go out to eat, I don't like it. It doesn't work for me. It makes me really uncomfortable. I'm not going out to eat with you. We're done. And she can throw her fit and do all of that, but ball's in your court. Either you're gonna break up with me because now I'm not going nowhere with you. You're ashamed of me. Yes, yes, I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of your behavior. I very much am. I can't do that. That's not how I was raised. It may be how you were raised. It's not how I was raised. We might do great on so many other levels, but you're showing me how you view people whose job it is to take care of you. And so, no, I'm not gonna go out to eat with you. We can eat in, whatever, but I'm not going out. So we would have a perfectly normal life every day of the week until that one day where it's like, hey, we should go. No, I'm not going. You and your parents have a good time. I'm not going. And that's just be what it was.
Would you forsake restaurants like for the rest of the time? Would you just go by yourself if you wanted to? I'm curious.
I'm not. I don't know how I really would follow the full question because I still can go out to eat. I just can't go out with her. And we can
Okay.
go places that don't involve tipping, right? We're gonna go to Chipotle, and she's gonna be like, "I'm not going to tip." Okay, but the real
Mm-hmm.
issue for me with her is not even the tipping. The tipping is like I said, you can have a principled opinion on tipping because personally, I feel like it's wrong the way American tip culture is. It's just a way for companies to be in business that really shouldn't be in business. Because if you can't afford to pay for your staff, you don't need to be in business. But it's the other stuff, how she treats people,
Yes.
and that I couldn't get past that. So we would either be like, I mean, knowing me, we probably just go ahead and break up and you go your way, I'll go mine. I mean, let's be real. If it's my wife, I don't know how we got to this point.
Yeah, we wouldn't.
but but a girlfriend, yeah, you know me, I break up with her and move on. There's more of them out there. We'll get another one.
Yeah, I cannot stand to be with somebody who would talk down to anybody else. That's just me. You're gonna I'm gonna be looking for somebody who at least can show respect, if not some admiration, for a good job done. I have been known I overtip, as people say, but I don't think really there is such a thing. I'm telling somebody that I really felt taken care of. I wanted for nothing tonight. You went above and beyond, and it is terrible that you're right. It, they should be paid to do their jobs. They are not. They oftentimes don't have enough for their own food, for their own rent. Tipping is what keeps them afloat. And so for me, that's never going to go under 20-25%. I cannot. If in one instance in my entire life, because my mother taught me my tipping practices, I saw her leave a quarter for one person, and that person just was, they did not do their job well. They did not There was no consideration, I guess. So, but even then, I still felt kind of bad. Like, ooh, that wasn't my experience. I couldn't say no, we can't do that or anything like that. But once you understand that, look, a lot of people have to deal with such crappy attitudes throughout their entire workday. Maybe you can just take a moment, step back, understand it's not personal. It's just a sucky day. So, no, I would be leaving somebody like that, and that's disgusting behavior.
All right, Tracy, I'll let you have the last word before I say something.
What in the entire world is wrong with people? She takes money that he puts on the table for a staff person and she hands it back. You trifling Scrooge McDuck person. Why don't you sit down somewhere and shut up? Usually, I don't go with this break up with them rule because I think there's circumstance. Yeah, break up with this one. Leave her. Run. Don't be with her. This is how she treats people. This is how she treats people. I cannot stand to go out with people and they don't want a tip and they argue about the meal to get something. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that annoys me. Annoys
That's the
me.
one for
Annoys
me.
me. Annoys me. You saw the menu, you knew it was gonna cost something. If you complain about everything, here's the alternative. Cook for yourself. That way, it'll be exactly how you like it. But you're so used to putting people down that you just have to complain about everything. Look, Wicked Witch of the West, shut up, go home, don't do anything anymore. Don't eat out. They should put you in the children's room. Because that's where you no, 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 you don't even deserve to be in the children's room. You need to be banned from restaurants. Nobody should serve you. You should go to one of those buffet lines where you can just eat whatever you want and serve yourself because you'll never be happy. You'll never be, nothing's ever going to be good enough for you. You're going to complain about everything, the bathroom, the utensils, the cups, the napkins. Girl, shut up. Shut up. And that, I'm done.
Okay, here's my answer. It's kind of piggybacking off of this. First of all, I'm automatically gonna look at you sideways and probably gonna be a little pissed off if I put money down on the table, you grab it and hand it to me as if to tell me what the hell I could do with my damn money. So this is where we're gonna have an issue because nobody tells me unless we married what I can do with the money I work for. Now you want to be an a-hole? Cool. But you're not going to be able to control me and what I deem you're doing wrong on. And you want me to be a part of that. Second of all, yeah, I'm with Thea's on everything. I said the exact same thing. I'm not going out to a restaurant with you ever again. And if you want to bust out with, oh, you ashamed of me at a restaurant? Yes, I'm absolutely ashamed of you. Absolutely. We could go through a fast through. We could go to a
Drive
drive
through.
through. We could go to Tracy said a buffet. Hell, I have a feeling you'll still complain about that, but who cares at that damn point? It's a damn buffet. But if you show your butt at a buffet, then now we're back to drive through a bus. Because I don't. The funny thing about dating to me when I got older is I really don't actually have to be with you. We're dating. I honestly don't have to be with you. It is not mandatory. If there is an issue that I have with you, let's go ahead and squash this now. Let's move on our separate ways. I'm going to find somebody who can show respect to everyone who shows respect to them. and you can go find somebody who agrees with your, I don't even know what to call it, your way of life, I guess.
Narcissism.
Because I'm sorry, I can't deal with somebody who I have to constantly think. You're really thinking to yourself, how am I know I'm not going to give them jack squat. And now I'm going to come up with the same reasoning for not giving you jack squat. So we're starting off at that base right there, Tracy. The base level is I know I don't want to pay this whole bill, and I know I'm not going to tip. So I'm going to come up with every reason above board, as you pretty much done ate every damn thing on your plate,
Yep.
of why I'm not going to pay you. I can't deal with that.
Mm-mm.
And here again, I'm not going to deal with that, and I don't have to.
And he
That's
gonna
what
sit there
makes
and say
dating so
she's nice
beautiful.
in every way. No, she's not. You're just ignoring
No,
it.
Tracy. She may absolutely be, but this is a hill
Trust
I
me,
just
Merle.
can't get over.
If she's this way in some things, it's gonna slip over into other stuff. She
No,
ain't just this
I'm gonna tell
way.
you what kind of person this is, Tracy. People like this, who other people who look down on people, they will never ever do that anywhere close to their peers. No,
That's
no,
because again, they're narcissists. They're
no.
self-absorbing
They know
tyrants.
they know there's a consequence with that.
Oh, and that too. But
Yeah. So they
she's
would
like
never
this
do that
in other
around
areas.
your
He's just
friends.
ignoring them.
You would never. She would never do that around her friends, his friends, at work, and things
She
like
did
that.
do it around his friend. She
Well,
did
she
it
do it
with
everywhere.
him. She
Yeah.
really
It's who
did.
she
She did
is.
do it around her friends.
Narcissists are
Yeah, this
concerned
is
with
who she
their
is.
Themselves.
Oh,
image
She's concerned with herself, and
and her
oh yeah.
image.
I
yeah.
didn't
That's
even
a,
know
you
that
know, a
part.
narcissist
Okay. Yeah.
needs approval from everybody around them.
Oh,
It,
okay.
it's
That makes my answer even easier. No, I'm good.
no.
No,
And I'll
she's
be
like
honest
this
with
in
you, at a
other
certain
areas.
point, I kind of want to start thinking, you
I
know what?
agree.
I'm just gonna pull a theist and just go, we're done. Because I keep thinking to myself, there's a story. I didn't play it on here,
It's
but
like they said, people who take care of her,
Yep, because she deserves to be
nurses.
taken care of.
yeah. So
Right.
you go with those people
And if I
because
was the manager, she would pay double. I don't know why. I would just make her pay double
if
just
if
because you got
one
on my nerves.
one you can't, and
I
two,
know. I'm just saying, if I could,
You
yeah.
mean there's not
and
an
the funny thing
aggravation
about it
fee?
is
Hey,
number
if
two.
restaurants, but Marlon, if restaurants can charge a fee for bad children now, which I think about time somebody did that.
When did
Really?
that happen?
Yes, there are restaurants now charging fees to people with obnoxious children that don't act right in public, and it's the greatest idea. I don't know why nobody's ever thought
I
of
don't
this.
agree with that absolutely at
I
all.
do. You need to control your children.
Wait, what
And
are we talking
who
about?
makes
Like
that
a
decision?
crying baby
No, not a
or
crying baby. No, no, no,
Talking
no,
about
no.
bad kids.
Yeah, we're talking about
bad?
like bad kids, like they run
Okay,
around and they play with stuff and they're all up in people. Yeah,
okay,
we're not talking about like a crying baby. Everybody understands a crying baby. They're a
cool.
baby.
Yeah, I didn't understand what
Oh,
Yes,
the
and it's
scope was.
about dang on time, and I want to find them restaurants and eat at them. Get tired of mama, mama, mama. Shut up!
okay. Thank you, Tracy. Because that's my point. That's why I don't like that rule. Mama, 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 don't make them a bad kid. It's a kid
No,
that's
but when
saying
they're
mama,
running
mama,
around the
mama.
store, when they're running around the restaurant,
If they're running around the restaurant and the parents are not doing anything,
yeah,
if
they
they're
just sitting
knocking
there eating.
glasses off over and over again, there's a difference between what is a bad child who's undisciplined and something that's just
Yeah,
getting on your nerves.
well, everything gets on my nerves. But anyway,
Yes, and you want to,
You
and
you need
so
an adult only restaurant, honey.
don't I
yeah.
go? Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Those are called strip clubs.
yeah, they are, and I'm not going to one of those. But there
You
are
don't have
adult
to watch
only
that
cruises.
part.
There are only adult cruises.
Yeah.
True.
But you get tired of
And
kids just running around, getting in fights, hitting each other. I'm like, so could you control them?
now I'm gonna tell you something right here,
One
right
time a
now.
kid threw his biscuit at me. Ooh, ooh.
But
One mother told me to hit her
but let me
child. I
say
was
this
like, wait a
real
minute,
quick.
ma'am. I don't be hitting other people's children. That ain't something I'm gonna be doing. That not something, that's
That
your child.
that conversation ended in you better come get your child.
That's just some bad parenting. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, the parents just sitting there like, yeah, you're
My
not gonna
kid
say
is
nothing.
exploring,
Yes, she
Fuck
throwing
that.
food, I've seen children throw food at their parents, and the parents just sit there and like, boy, if that was me, and I did that to my mother, oh no, I don't think I'd be here today.
I would
I literally
never.
don't think I would be here today.
No.
Yeah. But that I can see. I would I gotta tell everybody the mama that's here now is a mama trying to get into heaven because that is not the mama that raised me at all. Period, point blank, end of discussion.
You
You know.
see, the thing
Did you
about
behave
the
yourself?
charging for the kid
Greatest
that I
invention
don't,
ever.
yeah, I don't know. Like I'm not against it, but it's like, how do you do it, right? Because we
Mm.
live in a society that punishes anything and everything,
No, it's
right?
got to be a level.
You can lose your entire restaurant um, just because of a misunderstanding, right? Or you could be completely in your right. The child is just going, nuts.
Mm.
But what will happen is it's going to hit the news, and then you're going to get labeled whatever way, and then they're going to be protesting outside your restaurant because whatever the kid version of PETA is will show up,
The kid
and
version.
Cheetah.
now here you go. So
Gee.
it's like, as a business owner, you're almost left to the mercy of some of these things.
I cannot stand to go to a
I
restaurant.
hear that.
It's a difference when the baby's crying, a little baby, not some child that's 3 or 4 years old. You need
Yeah.
to stop crying. You need to stop crying.
I really don't believe you should be bringing an infant that small.
Ooh, child, you ain't been to some of the restaurants I'd have been to. They bring their babies, their
Unless you know.
grandbabies, the babies' babies, and the babies' babies.
Yep. And the big,
I
you
don't.
know, when I was at when I was with my grandfather when he passed away in 1997, we were at the Cranbrook, BC nursing home for it was the reservation basically. And so he would be asleep a lot, and I'd go and visit the other people because there was just nobody visiting. This one woman would sit in the little, an alcove where you get kind of like 4 seats if you don't want to visit with family inside your room. And she would just rock and repeat, and the babies, and the babies, and the babies, and the babies. And I see what she meant. Resting in power now. It could apply to many, many things, but
There's places that adults don't belong, and there's places that children don't belong.
mm,
But somehow we just don't know the difference.
All right, everybody, let's go ahead and move on. R- Real or nah? Now I'm pretty clear on my stance of which way I'm going with this. But these always have me just thinking that sometimes these stories are so fake because they so on the nose. It's like, are you sure you're thinking the way you should be thinking, or are you just like trolling, or did you just make this story up? Because believe it or not, I wholeheartedly believe there are people who are on social media who says the opposite of everything just to piss people off.
Yep.
That's their joy in life.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go ahead and play this story, and y'all tell me, is it real or is it not?
I, 30 female, have been best friends with Aiden, 30 male, since high school. When I say friends, I mean it. I contemplated him as a dating prospect for a bit in college, but figured it wouldn't go anywhere, so I never pursued it. I can't say if he ever had the same feelings, we've never discussed it. Aiden's been dating Jessica, 30 female, for about 3 years. I'm happy for them, but I must admit, Jessica and I never truly warmed up to each other. She wasn't the girl I pictured Aiden to end up with. She comes from a wealthy family and is always put together. Aiden is middle class and very outdoorsy. I do feel at times Aiden prioritized their relationship over his other friendships, but I can understand why at times. However, things have started to change a bit for the worse. Aiden and I would always discuss how we wanted to be involved in each other's weddings, planning included. Aiden is going to have me be a groom woman, which I'm assuming Jessica is fine with. We've been chatting about bachelor parties, and he's come with what I consider to be a strict list. I'm assuming it's Jessica's doing. What has really irked me is that Jessica isn't letting me be involved in wedding dress shopping. I asked Aiden to suggest my being involved since I'm someone who knows him best. I want her to look fantastic for him that day, and I know Aiden would prefer some styles to others. Jessica reached out to me, and while she appreciated my offer to come, she said she was keeping it small and really only wanted her mom, her grandmother, and her maid of honor there with her. I texted her that I understand, but I felt that it was important enough to be there as well because I can give her an idea of what Aiden would want. She responded to me that she and Aiden had discussed things, and while he has preferences, he also said that she would look great in anything. This is one of the biggest choices for her to make. I called her selfish and said that it seems to me that the only one making choices in the relationship was her, that she didn't seem to care about Aiden's feelings. She didn't respond to me after that, but I got a call from Aiden asking what the hell had gotten into me. I told him what happened, and he told me that it was unacceptable what I had done, and he needed a few days to cool down and process. He told me not to call or text him at all and be prepared that I may be uninvited from the wedding because this is his first instinct. I'm devastated, and I'm not sure what is going on. My friends, who are also Aiden's friends, think I wasn't out of line, but others think I was.
Oh boy.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah, this is gonna be a simple one. This is real or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Wait a
I'll,
minute.
I'll go ahead, Tracy. You go first.
There's more to this, and I want to see the other half before I start talking.
I don't have one. I don't have one. That's it.
Oh, okay. But it gets worse, right?
If it does, I still don't have it.
I'm like, wait a minute. I just feel like there's something missing to this one.
No, that's pretty cut and dry.
I don't have anything else.
You have an answer, Tracy?
I don't. It sounds real. It
I
sounds
think it's
like
real.
it sounds like she's jealous. Cause why would I want? Oh shoot! Come back to me, cause I'm like I can go either way on this one.
This this is real. I'm taking it the best friend and the bride are both women because of how they spoke about her being a groom. And she
Uh,
rocks more with the
wait a minute,
husband.
Anna. Let me stop you.
Groomswoman.
The OP of it is a woman. The best friend is the groom.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I ain't
Right.
never heard no groomswoman a day in my life, but hey, you do it, maybe
I'm
make sense to you.
poised. I've heard a flower, like a maid of honor be group, but put it as the man. Oh,
I ain't never seen that either, but like I said, do it what works for you.
It's your wedding.
I think the whole thing is silly anyway, so whatever happens during that day just happens. Just
Mhm.
get your vows done.
My mother had a best man who dressed up in a suit, sparkle gold Converse. She was styling, but didn't want to be in a dress, didn't want to be a maid kind of thing. Okay.
this is what courthouses are for. Why y'all wasting all this money getting me? Just go to the courthouse. Oh my gosh.
Remember, the bride has money, or comes from money.
Oh well, well in that case, it is her responsibility to pay for it. Oh, okay, yeah, go out, go all out for it.
She has every right to say who she wants to
Wants
be
to
there for her
her?
dress. And
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that she has a pretty good idea if she's about to become legally tied to this person of what they want.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, the friend need to. She need to
This
make a
is
new
ovary.
friend. This is over. Nah, she can't be doing this. What romantic comedy was it with Jennifer Lopez? And she was trying to stop the wedding. And oh wait a minute,
Maid of honor,
that's it. Thank you. I was like, wait a minute.
because I love J Lo.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, because
Actually, don't call me. I'll get in trouble.
Call me.
don't call me.
Not interested.
I'm
Love
good.
me some J Lo.
I'm good. J
I think
Lo,
it's
J
real.
Lo or Mariah Carey?
Yeah,
J Lo.
J Lo over Mariah Carey?
Yep.
if it's the month of
I
December,
like
it's Mariah.
It's the month of December.
it is not as November.
No, we're
No, I'm talking
saying
about
it's in our situation.
in this
Oh.
situation. It's the month of December. J Lo or Mariah Carey?
It's still J Lo. I can turn on Mariah Carey song anytime I want to.
Well,
You only know one Mariah song. I mean,
No,
no.
she's a big part of my playlist.
Uh-huh.
I love me some Mariah now,
She
but
came
I
out in middle
love me some
school
J
for
Lo
me.
and some Salma Hayek.
oh no, not Selma Hayek.
Mm.
Oh, why we gotta go down the Salma
I
Hayek?
love accents,
Oh
But J Lo
God!
doesn't have an accent.
He was talking about
but
something.
but she's but she's Puerto Rican Boricua, and I love Puerto Rican women too.
Mm.
well, I'm
Again,
saying
so y'all
I
know
love
this.
all kinds
Me
of women.
growing up, all my girlfriends up until I moved to Atlanta, with the exception of maybe two, were all Latinas. That's all
Okay,
I dated
Mm.
for
but
like six
this,
years.
what were their last names?
I don't know.
Interesting.
and you know what,
I don't
Tracy,
know.
you can't even use that. Like that's years ago. I don't even know the last names of the women I dated. Now,
Yeah, because you don't remember them. He never took the time to
yeah,
learn them.
he never took them at all.
He
Why
was just like,
would
oh,
he?
I don't. Something
Because
is
you don't
telling me
replace the
this story
last
is
name with
not.
nicknames, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, I gave them
Like
nicknames, and some of
something
the
is.
nicknames I reuse, but it's whatever.
and you
Something
tell
is
me
Mhm.
what
telling me this
nicknames you
story is
reuse.
fake. I don't
Hot,
know why. I
diggity.
just keep hearing fake. It just reminds me
No,
of that
but
movie too much.
I think the story is real because I think that people who are very close friends can sometimes get over their skis.
Yeah.
And I think that just because the person isn't your romantic interest, there's still love in there, and you are of the opposite sex, so you can have that energy is still there. It's just something you
Mhm.
would never act on, or you not been in the right situation to act on. Is probably the better way to put it. Um, so I
Possibly.
can see it's all it. But my thing is, um, you way over your skis. You know, like
For real
this
though.
this this don't belong to you. But hold on, y'all.
Yeah, she has absolutely no right to
None. If
even if
she
even if she was correct that she knew the guy like the back of her hand, knew what he liked, it still doesn't matter.
She doesn't want you there with her dress. Respect her wishes. Shut up. Be in the wedding. Be a groomswoman and keep it moving. But if
Mm-hmm.
I was the groom to be, if I was the bride to be, she couldn't be in the wedding. I'm gonna just keep mine real and petty. I'm just gonna keep it petty. I don't like to be
That's
petty.
not pettiness. That's
No,
hidden toxicity.
No, I
that's,
mean even if
that's I
he
know him better than you,
And
and
and that's what bothers Anna. That's what bothers me so much is
mm-hmm.
this is her
yeah, not
wedding dress that she's gonna wear at the wedding,
one
Mm-hmm.
time
and you still looking at it as yeah, but I know what his taste is, so
he's
I'm
not
going
wearing it.
to put your wedding dress together. You're muted, Theus. Your wedding dress together to please him. I don't know no bride on the face of the planet who has that thought process.
Or groom.
Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but I ain't never heard a bride to sit there and go, okay, I like this pattern, but he likes this pattern, so it has to be his pattern that it no. There are women, whether you want to believe it, agree with it, condone it, whatever. I'm not even going to get into that. That's not what I'm not even going to get into that conversation to go a different branch of the universe. There are women who dream about their fantasy wedding since they were kids.
Mm-hmm.
How they wanted to look, what they would look like, the color pattern, the flowers, the venue, the food, um, the whole kit and caboodle since they were little girls. And they have the ability now, such as this woman right here, who has the ability to pay for exactly what it is that they want.
How did she think she had a right to say what the wedding dress
Yeah,
was? Like what?
Because
but
she
she's
overstepped
trying to.
the
She's trying to.
hold on. I mean, she overstepped. Even if she has no romantic comment, because I'm not going to do the whole jealousy thing. But let's just make it more simplified.
Just that she knew
Okay?
better.
She really thinks that her friendship outweighs their relationship.
Yep.
Yeah, it does it. And then, if you remember in the video, or when he was reading it, she said, "Well, he puts her first." Well, duh, he's gonna marry her. He should put her first.
Mm,
Isn't that the whole idea of marriage? You put your spouse above your friends. I Maybe that's just me thinking. I'm just thinking out loud here.
Go ahead, Theus.
Well, I mean, to me, it's just a matter of even if she's not conscious of what she's trying to do here, she's trying to sabotage the relationship. Like
yeah.
you are sitting here saying, "I know your man better than you do,"
Right.
and so that's where the battle comes in. So I take the groomswoman thing. Like that was the first. You got to be kidding me. And
Really? Wow.
No, I thought that's the
it
least.
given their dynamic, yeah, but given the way this thing continue to flow out, you know what I'm saying? Why ain't you compete to be a bridesmaid? What you doing over here?
Because she'd already
So
selected her bridesmaids. That was on
okay,
his side.
so then there's his side. He's choosing his friends to be on his side. Cool. Like I said, yeah, I'm giving you my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got a different opinion, rock with it.
Yep.
But to me, that's the first one. Is just like, wait a minute. But that was his call. But then she goes and she starts trying to get input on the dress. And then you saying, I know your man better than you do. It,
That was see.
and no, 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 no. If
He
you
was so
really are my
mad.
best friend like that, your number one interest is how do I
Support my
get
friend.
my best friend what he wants most? And
Hey.
he's chosen this woman as his woman.
Yeah.
So you decrease so that can go down, and it's tacky. It's
If
tacky.
I'm the bride to be, he got to dish her. She got to go. She's gone. Bye. See you later. Wouldn't don't
Well,
let the door hit you. Bye.
In a lot of cases, when a partner is trying to separate you from your friends, that is a red flag. In this case, however, it is not.
all right,
Either
everybody.
she really wants him for herself and she just never realized that and she's like doing what Thea said,
She
trying to
hasn't admitted to
sabotage.
herself. Yeah,
Yeah. Because some people
possibly.
just, they like suppress their feelings and then they just kind of run it. But when she said you don't know him better than I, that'd have been scrapping.
Hey,
We
LL is in the house, and that is absolutely perfect timing because we're going to move on to Mafia video of the week. If you wasn't at the beginning of this show, I did tell, and I don't even think you was here yet.
no, sorry, saying goodbye to family.
Mafia video of the week is a little different, a lot different actually. It's not
Is it
so much.
Parker's?
No, I'm gonna
Oh,
show
sorry.
Parker's next week.
Oh,
Um, Mafia video week is a combination of a video and a question. The reason I have to ask the question is because me and Foxy has talked about this question all week long. All week.
okay.
We're on totally different ways
Ooh,
of thinking this. I had her write down the question so she can't come back and go, that's not the question that I said. So I had her write the question down.
okay.
I'm going to show you a video that started this questioning. It is not the whole video. It's literally 30 seconds. It's at the beginning. Please do not get, you know, off track with, well, now I need to know what happened in the story. It is totally irrelevant. It is literally totally irrelevant. It's the beginning of the video, and then I will ask the question. So cool? We good? All right. Here is the 30-second video which sparked the question.
I, 55 female, am child-free, but I am the aunt and godmother to several children and or young adults whom I love. This includes my bio niece, Claire, 25 female, through my sister, and I am not close to her at all. Not like I ever was, though. I'm honestly not sure if I ever loved Claire because I was already out living my life as a young adult when she was born and wasn't really around her when she was super young. And I've never been a love at first sight type of person for anyone. I just have to get to know and warm up to someone before I love them.
Okay.
I can't comment on something like that one. Context.
I haven't literally
That's
out
fine.
of my head and said that you understand. And I said,
I
there's a
know.
question.
I know.
You the person that I'll be the teacher and say, could you just step out in the hallway and I'll just go with everybody else and I'll just write
Okay.
down the stuff and tell you to do it.
Ooh, wow.
Then he goes
you're
and runs out
arguing
to the
again, EJ.
hallway.
You're
Now
arguing.
go to the office.
I'm not
You
going to
know,
the office. I'm gonna stand right here in the
Okay, go
hallway,
to the
and I'm gonna
text
talk through
machine.
the door. That's what I'm gonna do. You
That
wanted
really
me in the hallway? I'm in the hallway.
that really creeps me out.
all right, here we go.
Oh my gosh. Wait, that was perfect. Yes, mwah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go step out in the hallway. That's what you said. Here's the question.
Okay.
Should you automatically love your family because they are your family?
Oh, I already know my answer.
I got a
I'm gonna
question.
give you my answer last. Foxy's gonna give next to last. I'm gonna give you my answer last. Next to last, Foxy is gonna give you her answer last.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
what degrees of family are we talking? Because this is about
Yeah.
his
Family
niece.
period. Family period. Blood related.
Oh, no, that makes it too easy for me right there.
Mm-hmm. T.S., you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. No, I ain't got to love your ass because family is a sign of, that just happened. So, no, I ain't got to love you. I probably do because I'm not weird. But no. But I mean, it depends on how far are you talking. So that's why I was asking. Because if you're talking about my brothers and sisters, then yeah, I gotta love you. Period. I gotta love you because that's my blood. That's right there. Ups and downs and all that good stuff. Even if we grow apart or we have some real bad situation and we end up hating each other, I still love you. I just can't
Mm-hmm.
stand you, right? But then you start talking second cousins and nieces and great aunts, and I ain't got to have no feeling for you whatsoever because really you could be just like a stranger to me. I never met you. I don't know you. And then there's a whole godly love, and that's a whole different thing. And then yeah, I love you because I love all people. I love
Yeah.
people. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
there's levels of that too. I can love you and still sit there and watch you burn. So it's
Yeah.
All right. Anna, Tracy.
There you go.
Okay. I would say because the definition of love here is what are we talking about? Are we talking about um I'm gonna give you pretty much what I give everybody else, a chance and a hmm, yeah, a love for humanity. I might grow into, hating some parts about the person, but like my grandparents, my maternal grandparents, their family, I loved them. They were racist motherfuckers who treated their children horribly. And I don't have to be, I don't have to accept every single part, especially if you are that far gone from my, um, what the hell am I trying to say?
like your moral or belief system.
Thank, thank you. Yeah, you can be far away from my morals, but I can still love you, as family. But I still go back to, there's a difference between there's biological and then there's logical. And a lot of times I am much more tightly connected to my logical family than my blood family.
And then the other thing we didn't touch on, like
Hmm?
Anna just touched on, with love, right? There's familial love, which is kind of, it's a level above social love, right? So
Hmm.
you got your social love or spiritual love, you got your familial love, and then it's got like your I'm in love, and
Romantic.
then somewhere in there it could be I'll give you a kidney love, right? So
Right.
if we talking about family, so hopefully we ain't talking about the relationship love. Stop it. But we could be talking about, I love you, and I don't want to see nothing bad happen to you, but I'm not giving you no organs.
Hmm.
All right, Tracy.
My answer is pretty simple, and I think when I say it, y'all could be like, "Yeah, Tracy, you would say something like that." I'm commanded to love, whether you Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Marlon Theus, Anna, the cousin that picks at his nose in public. Whether I like you, don't like you, I'm commanded to love. I can't be a disciple and say, "I don't love you," that's the basis of everything I believe. So I'm commanded to love. Now that doesn't mean we're bosom buddies or I excuse everything you do. No, because you
Right.
have to have accountability. But I'm commanded to love. God is love. So that's my answer. And I'm just waiting for things to say, "I knew you was gonna go there."
No, I actually had a whole different set of comments, but I'm trying to do better with myself.
I really was I attempted to disqualify that answer, but I
What's
was
wrong with my
no,
I
answer?
had to
because
go to church
I
today, and it was a
thought
painful experience.
I thought about
Oh, I'm
that,
sorry.
about what the Bible says about love everybody and blah blah. But Foster said, no, you can't take that out because if that's their beliefs, and
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
my
they base it
belief.
off of. That so okay. You want to go first, or should I?
And there's also mine.
Huh?
Well,
Yeah.
while they debate that,
Okay.
so and
Hold
Yeah.
on,
church
Foster.
wasn't
Hold on.
terrible.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Go ahead, Foster.
So the reason why this question came up is that if you heard the video,
We can't
the
hear
lady
her.
was saying that she didn't think she had love for her niece because she didn't have a bond or relationship because she was in her 20s and she was doing her own thing. So when the niece was born or growing up or whatever.
Mhm.
So that immediately struck a chord with me because I'm like, how can you not love your family? And how can you put it out in the atmosphere that, hey, I didn't love her? That to me, I thought that was the meanest thing a person could say. That's your family. Even if you don't have a close bond with them, that's still a person that's in your family. So I have plenty of family members that I don't have a close bond with, but I
Mhm.
love them. If they call me, I'm gonna go and see about them. So
Right.
even if they did something despicable, I still have love for them. There's levels to that word love. So yeah, even if you're a second cousin, I know you, I love you. Maybe we can do lunch, or something to get closer. But you still have a certain amount of love for family, and I think it should be automatic. It shouldn't be something that you earn. So that's my answer.
That's the problem with it, though, isn't it,
I hear
Foxy? I
that.
mean, when you're looking at the word love, it's far too vague a term. We can all make it mean whatever we want it to because love is such an abstract term if you really kind of think get down to it.
All right.
As LL is saying, and actually, they make a really good point. What what love are we talking about here?
Well, we
Okay.
don't love
I'm
people
gonna
the
make
same
mine. I'm gonna
way.
make mine a little simpler. Then I'll make mine a little simpler. I ain't got no love for you if I don't know you. I just don't. I know that's astonishing and shocking and oh my gosh and
No,
blood,
not
fire,
coming
and
from you is
brimstone
not.
falling from the sky and all that other stuff. I am that person, like what she said. I do literally need to have some type of bond with you. I have more love for the people on this panel do I have with my third cousin from South Carolina, who I didn't even know existed.
But we could be
That's
your
not a level.
cousins.
That's literally not a level because
Especially at the Red House.
okay, I have
Brother,
no love for the people from the Red House at all, period.
people's houses.
I have no love for anybody from the Red House, but I have love for the people who are on this panel than I would for a second cousin from South Carolina who I didn't even know existed. But you're saying I should have some type of love, period, whatever level that you want to use.
Even if you use it on a basic human
Except for
Basic,
the except for the relationship love.
Yeah,
basic
relationship.
Yeah.
human level, we're going right back to love everybody then. So you even then you're saying I
Which
put you,
requires nothing out of you.
yes.
Well, see,
I I just
Or
I
does it?
but here's the deal though. I can't manufacture something that I don't feel.
Hmm.
true.
That's true.
Everybody
You
has a
can't.
feeling of love. Everybody has their certain feeling of love. I can't manufacture love because we're blood. And
And
because
see,
But
I
that's
do.
mm,
See, this
it's
is
just not
where
to do something like that.
see, this is where we end up. Like I said, we have to define the
Hmm.
parameters of the love that we talk about because, like you said, if you don't know the person or have some level of connection to the person, it's hard for you to say that you love someone, right? But I couldn't possibly be the guy that you guys have come to know over these years if not for the fact that I deeply love people. Like I don't always like people. I have real issues with humanity. Um, but I'm driven to serve. I want to help people who are not being helped or people who are vulnerable. You know, it's where the school lunch thing came from. That's where the school clinic thing came from. This is where we're gonna move into doing when people with rent or daycare is coming from. I don't know none of these people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I just feel like, if I can help, then I want to help. And that's love.
now.
That's love. That's
Yeah,
you
but this
know,
as much as my answer irritated you. You right where I was at.
in a way. But the reason why it didn't irritate me, Tracy, is
Or what's
it's
that Marlon
the
that was irritated? One of
to
y'all two.
Marlon. I don't know. I wasn't irritated, and I certainly wasn't irritated
I
with you.
wasn't. No.
It's you know,
It was
I'm
Marlon.
trying. I'm trying to grow. I continue to fail at knowing how to shut up, but I can at least try to grow in being a better friend. And I know that I played a part in whatever. So I'm trying to manage myself better. You trying to drag me in there because it's what you're used to from me, but I'm trying to grow. So that's why I bit
Oh,
my tongue. So because we can go into the whole diatribe of how I feel. Like, but anyway, like Anna, when I was telling you I went to church all day today, it was tough for me. It was tough. It was tough, y'all. It was tough. I
but
have problems with people because of what?
no, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, when people just be contradicting themselves or they're sitting there talking and I know they speaking, or I assume they're speaking from their heart, but the message ain't working because what you're saying ain't making sense, right? And then you telling this to other people though, and that bothers me because of how I view leadership and I view stewardship. But anyway, that's a
Hmm.
separate thing, but it's kind of tied into what we're talking about.
Hmm.
When you love someone, there's different levels, right? So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Marlon, when he's talking about love, he's talking about it has to be familial. Like he had, I have to have something I can anchor this thing to, right? Whether we met for a minute or we met for a year, give me something to hang this term onto that can make it real. Otherwise, I'd be walking up and down the street saying I love everybody, and that doesn't mean anything. Is that kind of like what you're saying,
Yeah,
Marlon, in a way,
that's
right?
what it is.
And then me, I'm coming from what I learned growing up in the church, but found overwhelmingly lacking in the church because it ain't like I just grew up in one church. I've been all around the country. I've lived outside the country. I've been a lot of different places. Okay. Um, and it's still that thing that is still imperfect, and I understand it's imperfect, but anyway, I'm trying to actually live that thing that was implanted in me as a young person growing up in the church, and that is you serve God's creation. You serve your brother and your sister. It does me no good to do well if I am going to do well all by myself, right? So that's That's a different kind of love, right? That's I know you're gonna disappoint me. I'm gonna disappoint you. Like, but I love you because God created all of us. Well, however you define God, like I define God different than most people. But however you define God, God created us, gave us an opportunity. So I can't. How do I love something else if I can't love you? Now
Mm.
you can make it so I don't love you, but on a base level, everybody I think is deserving of a basic level amount of love, a basic level of acceptance, a basic level of respect. Just for existing, you should have those things, and then we can move up or down based on our interaction.
And I will add
Right.
this, because I just want to. It
Agreed. 100%.
also means that even if you, in my opinion, if you see someone that you know can't stand you, they don't like you, they don't want to be around you, they're Donald Trump or whoever it is you don't like, and you see that person in need and you refuse to help them, that's not love to me.
It might not be. I might have loved you, but that has been revoked based
I
on
said, okay,
you.
but listen to the words I said. In my opinion,
Yeah,
I
all right.
specifically
Respect,
said,
respect,
in my
respect.
opinion.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you did me dirty. You did something, or you did something horrendous. That love I was just talking about, revoke. You shot up that school, revoke. You beating on your woman, revoke. You did any harm to a child, revoke. You know, I
But here's
still think you're a human being and you should be treated as a human being. But
Mm-hmm.
that's just being decent. I don't. I'll pull the switch
and
myself
that's
on you.
where I'm coming from is
I won't do that, but
that's where I'm coming
Hurt a
from.
child.
And I'm not jumping
Hurt
on
a child.
Tracy. I'm not jumping on Tracy. I'm literally not jumping on anybody. I am specifically talking about myself. No, I'm not Tracy. I'm really not. I get exactly what you're saying.
Like, really.
Tracy, seriously, I've heard it all my life just as much as you have. Seriously. I told you my whole family is surrounded by pastors, including my aunt. I'm surrounded by. I've heard it since I was born. Yes.
do you at all feel like you walk in service
Nope.
to the people that you love?
Yes.
Okay.
And that for me means speaking up like my work with Medicare for
Well,
All or
here's my deal though. Okay.
Mm,
Would
My
you have the same I'm sorry, Marlon. Would you have the same advocacy for Medicare for all if you did not have a personal story that attaches you to it?
yes.
yes.
And the reason
Okay.
I say yes is
Yes.
because I've heard so many, like literally, once I got in it,
Yes.
even before then, I was
That's the point
concerned
I'm
about it.
raising.
No,
No, that's the
even
point I'm raising.
before then, because I was like, well, why don't people have health care? Or why don't people have food deserts? Or what? The Palestine issue protesting. I mean, it's what I do is based out of love. It has to be.
but see
Fair enough.
there is the issue that I'm having. There is the issue that I have.
okay.
I don't base it out of love. I base it out of human decency. I literally don't have to love you to go out of my way to make sure that if I'm in a better situation than you is, that I try to help you out, regardless of who you is. And I don't need love to do that.
Okay, Marlon. Okay, Marlon. Loan me $50.
If I had it, I would.
It
But
comes,
I don't, so
it's
I can't.
right.
This is
It
a great
comes back to
conversation.
it comes back to the personal definitions
Yes,
and how
yep.
people are
We're
structured.
definitely
Exactly.
defining it
And
different.
and I love how Marlon just explained that point because I think this is super important for people and it crosses subjects. Marlon just explained that you may not call what I do in the way I do it love.
Right.
Or better yet, more accurately, you
He
would
does.
call what I do
Yeah,
and the
that's
reason
Mhm.
fair.
I do things as love. but that is your definition. You cannot change my definition for why I do things. I do things because
Right.
it's decent. I do things because it's the right thing to
Right.
do. I do things because this is how we should all treat each other as creations or whatever. These are my words, not Marvel. But to you, in your lexicon, you would call that love, right?
I would.
I absolutely would.
I would.
Right, and that's
Yeah,
fine.
And
That's
that's
if
fine.
Mama
fine.
But
does
where
it,
you end up with the
yeah.
problem, and this is why I said it crosses subjects, right? This is how
Uh-huh.
you turn allies into enemies. Because we will spend so much time trying to get the other person to accept our terminology that we end up losing the fact we had an ally. You
It's
will be so upset that I will not use your pronoun that you will miss the fact that I'm standing here protesting with you.
and that's how and the funny thing about it is if you look at our shows, if you look at our older shows, I'm going off on another thing. Me and Thea's come to the same result. We
A
come to
lot.
the same conclusion.
A
But
lot.
our paths to it has been so totally different.
Diverging.
Completely
Yep.
and utterly different. But we get to the same conclusion. That's what makes great arguments. Makes great entertainment. But we're not going to fall out because we come to the same conclusion. That's why keep saying about love and human decency. I do not have to love you, yet I would do the exact same thing that you would do out of love. Literally, nothing different. If I give a homeless person $10 on the street because it's human decency to make sure that he has something in his stomach because it's 32 degrees outside and it's going to be cold and I don't want him to go hungry, I do it out of human decency. I didn't do it because I love him. I don't even know the dude's name.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But I will still do it. The ending is still the same. But we get so tied up into, but the reason why you did it. No, it's not. It has nothing to do with the reasoning why you did it.
Just don't film it and put it on Instagram. That's all
No,
I'm
no,
asking.
those are a-holes, and I want you to stop absolutely doing that.
Don't do that. Just
So
don't do it.
here's the thing with that.
Mm.
I agree with you too. But here's the thing with that. You're not doing it for the right reason. You're doing it for clout.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
not only are you doing it for clout, but you are in a way further damaging this person, especially if they know you're doing it. Right? Because here's the situation. I'm going to give you this $50. Is it okay if I record your reaction when I give you something? Right? So you are making them a participant into your exploitation of their situation. But because they are in need, they will acquiesce to it. So now you can say, well, he agreed to it before I even did it, as though that absolves you, when in fact you were acting out of a power position that now has further dehumanized the person that you so-called help. That's one side of it, which I personally find very objectionable.
Wow.
And then at the other side, to a lesser degree, this person just got fed. And they probably beat up on themselves all day, every day. They deal with a lot of stuff you can't even think about. But at least they got food this day. So it's like you
Here's
had bad intentions. This person got fed, but this person with good intentions didn't even feed them. So it's like it's
Right.
a very complicated web that you kind of deal with. So sometimes for me, it's not about your intent. Sometimes it is about your intent. Other times it's not about your intent. Sometimes I'm looking at the end of the end result because I'm gonna come in with my good intention. So
So
let
would
me
you
work from there. But at
would you
least you
say
fed
that's
this
a
man
wash
or
then?
lady.
Would you say
Hmm?
that whole situation that you said was a wash? It's
I'm
the
not
wash.
saying it's a wash.
Okay.
I said it's to a lesser degree. I'm just saying that while your motivation to do this thing was self-serving,
Mm-hmm.
you still, at the end of the day, something good did occur. It just could have been better if you didn't do it from a self-serving position because you may be adding new trauma that wasn't there before.
All right, Anna.
There was a video that a guy made, and I believe his reasoning was to show others how easy it is to start helping in your community, and took out his own money, went to a business, small business in town, got, I think, $150 of food. And as he's talking to the ladies who are bagging up his food, and he's explaining, this is what I do, and now I'm going to, do you need a hamburger? Do you, with no means testing, with no, you got to do something to get, just here's some food. And he would give it to whomever walked by, and that included the guy who was homeless, that included college kids. And he was simply saying, it's actually within our means, it's within our reach to help other people. And I don't understand why people say it's so complicated when you could just do something.
I mean, that's my belief system in a nutshell. That's why I try what I'm doing with small donations,
Yep.
small people doing small things to have big impact.
Yep.
Right? Now, you can do that. And I can't tell another person if they're wrong and how they're doing. I can tell it might not sit well with me, but like perhaps because sometimes you do need to like let people see what you're doing, right? As you're physically doing it. And then to someone like me, I'd be like, but there's other people who will be spurred into motion because they can now see it. Because most people learn by putting themselves into a situation. So seeing it acted out in front of them makes them more inclined to follow. Because most people are followers. So you've given them something to follow.
Yeah.
So then the question will come down, right? We go into these existential questions. So now good things are being done. This individual that you helped, you simultaneously hurt, but through that, you helped 500 more people. Where's the break point, right? Joel Osteen, I'm just gonna pick him out of whatever. Joel Osteen, I think he's a huckster and a charlatan. But how many people found their way to a healthier self-image, healthier life, healthier family structure? A lot of people found their way to some level of healing, even though, in my opinion, he is a huckster. The question then comes in, is the good that he's done intentionally, arbitrarily, incidentally, is that all canceled out because he was selfish? I don't know. I don't know. Or the age old question with, sorry, Tracy, I had this conversation, I was feeding off like conversation with my family earlier today. Christianity. God made all, in my opinion, God made all of mankind. Spread us all around the world based on your geography and your climate and all that, is how your characteristics are developed, because we're all suited to where we originated out of. You telling me that a God that is love, like the definition, one of the definitions of God is supposedly agape love, would then say, I will doom 3/4 of every generation to hell because they did not accept my son as me.
I wouldn't say that.
But if you die outside of Christ, there are those, many of those, who would say your soul is now doomed because you did not come to the Father through the Son. Well, Christianity is a minor religion compared to Islam and Buddhism.
Right? Because there's more people that practice those.
Yeah.
Exactly. But God created all of them.
They're older.
So, well, that's true.
Well,
But
Buddhism is older.
God created all of them. If that's the operating understanding, which I personally correspond to, then
Right.
are we going to say that these people are now, their souls are condemned to eternal damnation because they were not presented with this particular, in my opinion, subgroup of religion? Because whatever, I'm not going to get too far into that. But they didn't get that because part of the mission is that you're supposed to spread the good word around the world for all mankind. That's a process. That's time. That's generations upon generations upon generations. So would my God, I don't know about everybody else's God, would my God doom all of so much of his creation to hell? My God would not. So it's just one of those things. It's a complicated thing. I say whatever your motivation or whatever your belief system is, if we can just share the belief to do good by each other, and if you see a person in need and you have the ability to help.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one big announcement right now. I will not be breaking this down for next week's show. I will be using this for the December 16th because this was a great conversation the weekend 15th.
Yeah.
Because this was a great conversation.
That's
And
why.
I knew it would. I knew it would. Because at the end of the day, and I'm going to use a lazy term. So what? It's almost time to go. Because everything has a freaking nuance to it. Everything is not black and white. Everything has its own column of information. Your experiences, your background, your upbringing, everything has a certain nuance to it. And I thought this question would deal with that because it isn't black and white. It isn't belief or disbelief. So no, if you're looking for this next week or the week November, you're not going to get it. This will be part of the breakdown for the 2 weeks that we are off. Sorry, not sorry, get over it. This was a great conversation. I appreciate everybody here. I appreciate Foxy.
Thank you, Foxy.
Thank you, Foxy. Because you were right and Marlon he's right in his own way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there was no right or wrong answer. It's just how you personally feel about it.
Yep.
I couldn't hear that. I'm sorry.
She said neither right nor wrong answers, just how you feel about it.
But she also said, but in this case, Marlon was right.
I
I'm
didn't
pretty
hear her
sure she
say
didn't say
that.
that.
I'm pretty sure we didn't hear
Pretty
her say
sure
that.
that part didn't happen.
Usually 99.9% correct in all items.
Okay.
She said Marlon is usually correct 99.9%.
Yes, she did.